We're the last in line! The Dio band got bigger. They had the exact same lineup: Jimmy Bain, Vinny Appice, and that other douchebag, and then Dio. Same exact lineup. The only notable thing in the history about this time, though, is that according to the band, that this album was not nearly as fun to make as Holy Diver, and there was some fighting that was starting to happen during this era, and it would get really bad on the next album, Sacred Heart. This album came out in 1984, really great year for metal, and the artwork is very badass. It shows their mascot Murray, and he's like floating over some sort of like pioneers or something. I'm not even sure what the fuck's going on. But the colors and everything look really badass on there. It's one of my favorite Dio album artworks, easily. So let's get to the songs. The first awesome song is We Rock, which has this incredible drum buildup from Vinny Appice, and this incredible riffage from that one douchebag who we will not talk about. That's easily one of the highlights of this album too, is Vinny Appice's drumming, because he uses a lot of really quick triplets all over the drum set, especially on the snare. It sounds really cool. And Dio sounds great, the lyrics are really badass, and this song has incredible vocal melodies to it, especially the bridge right before they say "We Rock" in a really awesome way. It's sort of cheesy, that whole, you know, "We Rock" thing, but it is incredibly badass in the way it's done, and the riffs and the passion to it really makes this not cheesy at all in a way. This song's a 5 out of 5, a masterpiece, but not as good as the next song. Last in Line, the title track, is easily, in my opinion, the best song off the album and one of the best Dio songs ever. It had a really cool music video to it that's pretty weird, where some guy's like getting dragged down to hell from like an elevator, and there's a bunch of Borg down there, and people are playing video games that are like breaking their brains and shit. But there's some incredible lyrics and incredible writing here. I love the little mellow beginnings of the song that go right into this heavy as hell, awesome, catchy as hell, and anthemic, awesome song. It's so cool that Tenacious D, which is Jack Black's band or whatever, with him and his friend that play like acoustic guitars, they covered this song, and they got a Oscar or Grammy or whatever the fuck for it. I don't pay attention because those award shows suck. Yeah, Tenacious D's cover of Last in Line is probably one of the only listenable covers on the Ronnie James Dio This Is Your Life's tribute CD. I just love the way Dio sings a lot of the notes in here. I think he says "look out" somewhere in there, and I love the way he, especially in the music video, where he says "the only way is down." And of course, the lyrics in the chorus are incredible. We'll know for the first time for evil or divine we're last in line, and then the awesome melodic ohs he does after that are really classic. A 5 out of 5 incredible song. Then we have an extremely underrated song known as Breathless, which is sort of like killer filler. I was not a big fan of it at first because it does pretty much come off as a sort of half-baked song, but what they have in there is really cool and catchy. It's a lot like the song Gypsy off the last album. However, they're very close in rating for me as well. The riffs are cool and the build-ups are great, and I love the chorus. The chorus is catchy as hell. I love the way that Dio does the chorus though, where he just says breathless, but then he says this really cool vocal part that says breathless again, you know, the table still turned, breathless. It's really cool. And the guitar solo from that asshole fuckhead is pretty cool as well. 4.5 out of 5. Now we have one of the awesomest songs off the album, and something I forgot to talk about is that Last in Line is almost like a complete ripoff of Holy Diver. Every single song almost matches something off the other album. And this one is almost a complete and utter rip-off of Stand Up and Shout. It's almost like the exact same riff, except it's a little bit faster. And the chorus is about the same. They just keep saying "stand up and shout" and "stand up and shout," and they say "I speed at night" and "I speed at night." The song is absolute speed metal. It's just ripping and roaring. It's about 3 minutes, and it feels like a full, awesome fucking song. Easily one of the best off the album. And you really hear Vinny Appice and that butt plug shine a lot throughout this entire song. 5 out of 5. Now we have a song that a lot of people don't like, which is "One Night in the City." I love this song. It reminds me a little bit of maybe like Holy Diver or something off the last album. I love the weird build up to it. It's all ripping and roaring and like kind of gnarly, sort of like the beginning. Then it just randomly goes to like a melodic guitar line, and that's pretty much carried out throughout the rest of the song. The rest of the song's sort of popish in a way. It's a little poppy, but I still think it's really cool, and I think it's very passionate. I love the way Dio says, "one night in the City." I think that part's really cool. It's sort of weird, but if you listen to it, you'll know what I'm talking about. 5 out of 5. Then we have a song which I've always loved from this album, because I went through a period where I didn't really like this album very much. And I thought Holy Diver was way superior. Now I think kind of the other way, even though they're both copies of each other pretty much. But Evil Eyes is pretty unique. It's very cool, and I believe it was even a single, because it has that really cool single sound to it. It's pretty much just classic metal to the very M. The verse is very catchy. The chorus is extremely catchy. It's very up-tempo, very upbeat, and incredible. The solo is pretty cool too. The drumming just gives this awesome groove as well. I give it another 5 out of 5. Now we get to a song which is like a complete rip-off of 2 songs. They're trying to rip off their own classic Rainbow in the Dark to try to get another hit, which did not work. And it sounds exactly like that piano intro to Baba O'Riley. Or not the intro, but like the part where the guitars start kicking in. That intro of Mystery sounds exactly like that. It's really weird. But overall, it's a good song, even though it's somewhat of a ripoff. I still give it a 4 out of 5. It's still good. Then we get to another song, which is similar to some of the songs I didn't really like as much on Holy Diver, that had a lot of like weird, like gnarly guitar riffs to them. This is Eat Your Heart Out. I'm not a huge fan of this song. It's probably the weakest off the album, but it still has some great riffs to it, and I love the build-up riff right before the verse. And I think the chorus is actually pretty cool too. I've pretty much grown to like that chorus a lot. I give it a 3 out of 5. Then we get to maybe one of the best songs off the album, Egypt the Chains Are On. This song is an absolute epic. It's a slow build-up song, a lot like some of the really cool epics off of Rainbow's albums, like The Gates of Babylon or Stargazer, but probably not as good as either of them. It has this incredible Mid-Eastern sounding Phrygian build-up, and the lyrics are really awesome, although there's this one lyric in the song that I just can't stand, where it says, "When the world was milk and honey." I hate that fucking part, but the rest of it is so damn cool. The chorus is slow and epic. I love the way Dio says, "But the chains were on." And the lengthy middle section guitar solo is incredibly well written and very badass. And in a way, it's very similar to the not very great closer from the last album. Egypt the Chains Are On pretty much is slow and murky, kind of like that one. But this song's a lot darker, a lot more serious, and a lot more well-written. So I give this incredible Dio album a slight better score than Holy Diver. I actually do think it's a tiny bit better, but they're about the same anyways, so I think maybe I'm just in a mood where I like it more. There's some songs on Holy Diver I just can't get into that much, even though they're kind of good songs. I'm gonna give this one a 9.3 out of 10.